just wanted to send a quick hello and I love you. Oh, good news. I'm gonna be coming home soon. Yay! Oh, I cannot wait to be done with this babysitting job and come home to my loving husband. I miss you.
Hello, this is Jono and Gonzalez, and we are here giving you a review our comments on.
Our
comments on.
Our general impressions.
Of Biohazard, Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
That's the way you say it, backwards, that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So everyone understands what you're talking about. Well, let's just jump straight into it.
Yeah. So first of all, there's not going to be any major spoilers in this talk about the game. So if you're worried about the story stuff, then don't worry.
We'll cut that out even if we talk about it right now, but we won't.
We will talk about gameplay stuff and the overarching themes of the game. I guess like themes of some elements of the story, but not any specific things.
And just check, like obviously, like the other videos, I would just be wary of some spoilers, you know.
Yeah.
I think don't watch it if you don't want to fucking play it.
If you don't want us to spoil the story, then don't watch our Let's Play, I guess. Or
just like watch a little bit and be like, this looks kind of cool, I'm going to buy it. You know,
whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
It's
you can also go fuck off as well if you want. I really manage. Alright, so cool, that's the first thing. I'm going to try not to give you guys any spoilers. But let's move on.
So yeah, let's talk about the visuals. Did you like to look at this game?
I thought it looked fucking great.
Yeah, it looked good. Some of the it has okay. So we played this on the PS4. That's important to note. There was a bit of texture pop in, I noticed.
Yeah, not fucking loads though. Some games I've seen do have way more than that.
Oh, I know, but there was moments where you looked at something and you're like, oh, that texture is pretty shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's actually good now, which was weird. But
it wasn't too bad though, I have to say. I know I've noticed it more on a lot of other games, I have to say, but it's still either way noticeable. So obviously, without that odd thing happening now, I reckon it probably happened 7 times or something, to the point that really pissed me off.
Yeah, but I like the visual look of the game. It's quite like grimy. The lighting effects are cool.
Yeah, the style is really interesting. The style is kind of like, I just kind of got the assumption that because they were I felt like they were trying to kind of pin down that amnesia kind of thing.
Vibe, yeah.
That actually, it was oddly Resident Evil-ish.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, in the colours and the tones, it just kind of had that greeny kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job of making it their own still, which actually really surprised me. And actually, just talking about making it their own, going back through all our gameplay footage, I was surprised at how, alright, there's a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
But they don't seem very bait, most of them. Some of them are obviously bait, like the fucking piano. I'm not going to talk about them, but some of them are quite bait. But generally, not too kind of obvious, but some of them are. But
I thought the face animations were pretty good.
The characters look great,
except for some Uncanny Valley moments, they was pretty good.
Some what moments?
Uncanny Valley moments.
What do you mean?
Uncanny Valley.
Is that a thing?
We studied this in uni, man.
I don't remember this shit.
We studied this in uni together.
What's this crap again? Oh, dude, I
Uncanny
didn't go to class,
Valley.
man. I just went and just became a director
instead. So there's a bit of Uncanny Valley moments, but that's fine.
What does that mean again? Explain for people who don't know.
Okay, so Uncanny Valley is basically when something looks like a human, but you notice that it's.
Yes.
In your mind, it's like a robot thing, right?
Yeah. No, I have read up on this, but not at university.
Yeah, when a robot is made to look like a human, it creeps you out because it looks like a human, but it's it's
the
not.
Japanese are like hardcore studying that shit more than anyone else. I did read an article on that stuff, specifically with a load of Japanese industries trying to get rid of the Uncanny Valley fucking shit.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting. But they look great in terms of video games. It looks fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it looks very good.
Some of the better stuff I've seen.
I like some of the depth of field effects as well. Quite a few good lighting effects.
Often the stuff in the foreground is out of focus.
Yeah,
they
were pretty good at using shadows as well. Shadow your character, which spooked me a couple of times. It's that's my own
shadows
shadow.
in general. At times we thought just like a fan, a shadow. Of a
fan
that
was really interesting. I remember there was one fan in a room, which when you saw it, it looked like a person moving.
Yeah,
but it was just a fan, and they did that a couple of times, and that's like a really clever thing.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
It's the more subtle stuff that really creeps you out.
Like an object that kind of looks like a person but doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that freaks you out in real life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that is really good. That's kind of subtle stuff that is good.
So overall, it had a Resident Evil vibe to it.
Yeah.
Not because of anything else than just kind of like the tones and the style and stuff like this, which was really well done, I thought.
Yeah, and I thought that was true as well for the gameplay. It was I was very intrigued by the way this game was going to play out because I didn't know. I mean, I played the demo, but I wasn't sure how the main game was going to play out. But
I think that goes for the user interface as well. Like, just like
very minimalistic.
The fucking HUD and stuff is really
really it's very old school.
Really
it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like the sort of old school adventure game stuff where you have to click on things to combine things.
Yeah, I like that a lot though. I like that a lot, man. And also, just only being able to kind of put a certain amount of things in your slots and stuff like that. You know,
like the
like full
limited,
game wheel
your
things.
Your limited inventory.
You have to actually think about how you play the fucking game.
Only 4 things you can equip on your...
We talk about this a lot, but it's nice to see this kind of style of gaming.
Yeah, it's really...
There's a comeback of this older kind of more thought. You have to put more thought in yourself as to how you're going to play the game. You know. I like that, man.
I think a lot of people are going to complain about the combat, but I like that it's
slow
not great.
Sluggish and,
It's kind of it's like it reminds me
awesome.
of Silent Hill, which obviously is famous for having bad combat, but that's a good part.
Yeah, it's that it's really like scarily difficult.
It's because you're always thinking like, do I want to fight this thing or do I want to run away? I think that's a good thing.
Slow it running away. There's
just some dude, man, who just came here.
There's some dude that just fucking just trying to like find out where his girlfriend went.
Yeah, and
got sucked into some horse shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
So anyway. I like that element of it. There's also, there's towards the midpoint. There's more combat than earlier, but there's a lot of quiet moments, quite a bit of exploration. It's the gameplay is sort of semi-open areas that you can explore, and then come back and re-explore when we get more stuff to open more stuff.
I mean, in that way, again, like, quite classic. Like I kept saying, like, it reminds me of Metal Gear Solid. I only meant that in that, you have that top-down map as well, firstly, but also that you always end up going back to areas to explore it further. And something new happens in that space.
Yeah.
It kind of goes to show that actually, if you were smart enough, you don't even really need to make that big of a fucking... I mean, it's not that big.
No, it's actually quite small.
It's pretty small, right? It's just about how you go about doing it.
Yeah.
And how you use that to your advantage.
Sort of this farm they own.
How do you use that space to your advantage? And how do you make that entertaining? Yeah. It's interesting. Alright, well, let's talk about a little bit about the story as well. I thought the story was really key.
Yeah, the story is fun. I mean, there's so much I can say about it without spoiling stuff.
Anything.
But there is a sort of nice progression of the game drip feeding you clues and information.
Yeah.
About the whole picture that's going on.
Looking back at it a second time.
Yeah, especially when we look at the back and it was like, oh, that's what that meant. I see.
I think some of the stuff you find right at the very beginning, you're like,
has some significance.
Yeah. So actually, I would say I highly recommend a second playthrough.
Yeah.
Just so you get to go, oh, that's what it was for. Or, watch it through after you've played it on our fucking channel or whatever. Because it is definitely fascinating to watch.
It's definitely worth...
You'd be surprised how much shit you've missed.
Yeah, basically. It's definitely worth reading stuff you find as well. I thought that because some games overdo it with the reading, but I thought this had it didn't have that much reading you had to do.
No, but it was all relevant.
But it was all relevant. It was all interesting.
It wasn't just kind of random colours.
No, it wasn't just stuff to fill up the world. It was basically stuff that had a very direct thing to do with the story.
I think it was a satisfying story. I think it had a satisfying end as well.
Yeah.
There wasn't a major fucking...
I mean, no, it's not a major plot. It's straight lines. But, I mean, I do have my criticisms, but I think it's hard to talk too in-depth about them without going into real spoiler territory.
You guys make your own decision on the story there.
But it was a fun journey. It was definitely a fun journey.
So in terms of the rest of the franchise, I wonder how this fits in place. It is interesting that they went POV for the whole of this thing.
So I played a bit of Resident Evil 5. I've played a bit of the early ones. I played through twice Resident Evil 4, which is definitely my favorite one. Some people hate it, some people love it a lot. I think Resident Evil 4 is great. It's an excellent game. But there was a lot of things there that really reminded me of that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, they're going first person. It's this is not Resident Evil. This is they're trying to piggyback off Amnesia.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
That was the vibe.
That was very much the vibe that
I'm surprised didn't feel like that when playing it though.
But it was not like that at all. It had a lot of elements from the Resident Evil franchise that I think the fans will appreciate. Definitely the inventory management, just the herbs you pick up and combine with shit to make stronger
Fucking herbs.
stuff.
It was fun. I liked all of that.
Yeah,
though. I liked
the
all- I
inventory
enjoyed all
management
of
was fun, and
It was really fun,
that's
yeah.
always been a fun part. That was always a fun part of Resident Evil 4.
How do you feel that this fits into the rest of the genre at the moment then?
It's interesting. Like, I think for me personally, I thought a game I thought was better was Soma, which I think a lot.
I thought it was better.
Yeah, but it's such a different game as well. But they'll still be you know, sort of in the same space because they're first-person horror games. But this
They're
is so
very different.
This is so different from that, or say Amnesia, or even if you talk about something like PT. I mean, this is much more a even
like a Resident Evil game.
what was that game we played? Outlast. Because those games are very much based on your character being very weak or not even being able to do any sort of combat.
Yeah, you actually fight in this.
Yeah,
which,
and then you actually fight in this way. Because I was like, is this gonna be like, you know,
Yeah,
Outlast where you're just hiding away?
Yeah.
And it's not like that.
No.
But you're still weak and you're still very vulnerable. And
I think this game's going to be a bit of a comeback. For
yeah.
them. Definitely.
I think like Resident Evil 5 and 6 were not received well at all.
No. I used to love
Especially
Resident Evil, man.
especially Resident Evil 7, no 6 was too much. People I didn't play that game, but it was considered to be too much of an action game or something like that. With a little focus on the story.
I think we've been trying to find their feet for a while.
Yeah.
I think this is giving them a little bit more
it's
leeway to see what they do next.
I
Basically.
like the direction they're taking it, and it's good. I think it's a good thing. It makes me excited for the potential next thing they do.
Yeah.
Because I was not interested in
I was
Resident
not
Evil 6 at all. So yeah, this was
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
Pleasantly
it was a lot of fun.
So just to kind of wrap it up, it was a really fun experience. Really enjoyed playing it. I'm sure you guys will too. Be interested to hear anyone's thoughts. Anyone's played it. And
leave a
has
comment
watched
if you
this.
played the
Leave a
game
comment.
and
I'm really
you
curious
liked it.
to
Yeah.
see,
I'm really interested because
I'm curious to see what people think.
We played. We got this game early, so we played.
We played it before anyone else played it, so we don't know what
didn't do
anyone.
that.
We haven't seen any reviews.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, we haven't seen any reviews. We haven't seen any any reactions to the game. We have no idea what people are thinking.
No idea.
And sometimes it's like
We just know we've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we enjoyed it a lot.
It was really good fun.
Without like, yeah, this is just it was such.
I wonder if it's as fun on your own as well. You know.
Well,
what I mean?
that's
Like,
the thing.
'cause
We
it's
played
fun
through
playing
this.
it
We
together.
were sitting here playing this together, and that was
in
a
the
lot of fun.
dark.
In the dark. Yes.
So, had a blast.
You know, I dimmed down the lights and turned on romantic music, and we sat here and played Resident Evil 7. So that was a lot of fun. So I don't know, but I thought, yeah, there was enough good stuff in this game to recommend, definitely.
All right. Well, I guess the only question left to ask was: is it scary?
It is scary. It is definitely scary. It's very creepy. They do a lot of good subtle stuff and a lot of good not subtle stuff.
Yeah.
It does sort of the scares do go away when it gets more classically Resident Evil-y, 4-ish,
Which is
the
fine
middle.
though. But I think by the time that comes along, you're like,
yeah.
oh, I get to shoot some stuff now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bored of being scared. I get to shoot
it
some
becomes
shit.
more
It's actually quite
less scary as you go on. But the first half definitely has some scary. And
Oh,
creepy shit in
absolutely,
it.
yeah.
And it was sometimes not very comfortable game to play.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing.
That's a good thing. All
Yeah.
right. Cool.
That's pretty much it.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'll
Yep.
catch you in the next one.
Bye bye. Okay, let's get out of here now. We got what we came for.
Oh no! Oh no!
Dude, get the fuck out of here, man. I don't want to be here anymore.